What do you suppose? I mean, we are the kind of the birthplace of, or New Orleans is the birthplace of so much of American music, and yet Austin is so much more active, and Nashville is just booming. Why don't we have an Austin City Limits? Why don't we have South by Southwest? Why don't we have this infrastructure?
In my opinion, it's because we're a poor city. We don't have IBM. We don't have Texas Instruments. We don't have a lot of these other Fortune 500 companies.
There's no tax base. There's no tax base.
The tax base and just private sector investment. These companies attract people. They bring people here. They employ a lot of people. So if somebody's making $100,000 a year working at Texas Instruments, that's a lot more money that they have as disposable income that they could be spending on entertainment. We lack that. So without rich companies here, so as a result, we end up with a handful of companies, 2 or 3, like, well, Entergy used to be one of them before they went bankrupt, Freeport-McMoRan. So they get hit up for absolutely everything.
Right.
They have to fend off every person that comes to them with a great nonprofit idea because they're the only game in town. If we had a more diversified economic base, then there would just be a lot more money flowing through the community. Our schools would be better, our neighborhoods would be better, our streets would be better, we'd have less crime, all of these things. So it really just comes from, that's what I was saying before about people have to believe that there's money to be made here. Until that's the case, I don't think we're really going to see the kind of investment that we need to jumpstart the economy as a whole and just improve the quality of life. So in the absence of any of that, I don't blame people for going to Austin. Because in Austin, every taxi cab is brand new, and it has a computer on the dashboard, and it's got somebody behind the wheel that's got a 4-year college degree, if not an advanced degree, which may not say much about their economy, except that it means that they're a lot more educated people. So they have a brand new city hall building. There are huge cranes dotting the skyline everywhere you look. There's just huge investment going on there because people believe that it's a boomtown. They believe that it's a place to make money. That to me is the most important thing that we have to change about New Orleans. We have to change that perception that it's not a place to make money. If people believe that it is, then it will happen.
Like
and then we can have more things, then people will want to come here for businessy type stuff. In the meantime, I still believe the same thing that I believed in the 90s when we were doing other music conferences and other kinds of stuff are built around Jazz Fest. Jazz Fest is our South by Southwest.
True.
It's not a business schmooze in the same way. It's not as blatant a commercial transaction, but it's still the best thing we've got in terms of a driver of industry attention on the city. There are tons and tons of music industry professionals, whether they are record company executives or very high-level entertainment attorneys or talent buyers for overseas festivals, all sorts of people wandering around those fairgrounds. You might be standing online for a soft-shell crab po' boy next to one of these folks and not realize who it is because they don't have a name tag on them the way they do at South by Southwest. But that doesn't mean they're not here and they're not looking.
Is that something the foundation could look into or be involved in? I mean, you do attract all these people, and there's no real organization. They come and hear the music, they eat the food, and they leave. There's no residual effect, and there's no collaborative result. I mean, how could you do that? How could you marshal the assets that you've got just by virtue of people coming to that event?
Well, it's slow. You know, the foundation is pretty set in its ways, and it's done things the way it's done them for a long time. So getting that ship to turn and have a different attitude is a long-term prospect. Mm-hmm. But it's not very different from what we tried to do when I was in the mayor's office. We want to leverage that opportunity to the best extent that we can. So first we identify who those people are, and we try to corral them. At Jazz Fest, the people who are coming here aren't looking necessarily to do business in the same way that they are when they go to South by Southwest. They're coming down with their buds. They want to have a good time. They want to go hear the kind of music that they can't hear at their day job. So we want to try to find out who they are and entertain them the way we would entertain clients. So from a practical standpoint, for what I do with my job, I create a hospitality scenario. So when I was in the mayor's office, we created a music industry hospitality area at the fairgrounds. So, and then I would work with different people I know in the industry to build up a mailing list of real music industry players who were coming to town.
So what happened to the mailing list? Because you've been doing that for a few years.
I still have that, and
That's useful on some level, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely. And so now, just to take that example, the foundation has had a hospitality area forever at the fairgrounds, but it's been closed. It's only for the members of the board of the foundation.
Oh, great.
So I'm now, and they look at me suspiciously, but I'm taking that and opening it to the media and other potential, whether it's foundation donors or corporate titans or the other people who might be in a position to donate money to the foundation, or the music industry players who are here who were looking to be entertained. So we're starting with hospitality, and then we have to just try to do everything that we can to either create more showcase opportunities so that the talent has a chance to shine and people can then hire that talent in whatever way they do, or make sure that we're doing everything we can with the showcase opportunities that exist to make sure that the people we want to target are getting to them. But I think at the fairgrounds, that's pretty much a safe bet. I mean, people do it anyway. When I was managing bands, I was in the fortunate position to have bands that actually were attractive to overseas talent buyers. So it was not uncommon for the band to play a set, and then I would get a tap on my shoulder and say, "Oh, I have a festival in Switzerland. You must come." You know, so the more that happens, the better we'll be. But you know, it takes a shift of mindset for different levels of the operation.